Sonic Heroes was a multi-platform release. It was also released on PC, which not a lot of people may know, and the PC version happens to be known as broken. Luckily, we can turn this into the definitive edition of the game with a few mods, patches, and little fixes. And this video is intending to be sort of like the guide to it all. This video is heavily inspired on Blaze Hedgehog's definitive way to play X Sonic game series, so if you like this, check his little guides out for other Sonic games. But yeah, this video has been sitting on my hard drive for quite a while, and I never got around to editing it. I don't know why, I just found it. It was a fully complete video, and I've been recently wanting to play Sonic Heroes, so I literally followed the guide, which I literally followed the video to a T, and this is how I got Sonic Heroes working and made it the definitive edition of the game that you can play. Let's get on to the tutorial. Okay, so here I have a folder containing everything we need for Sonic Heroes and its relevant patches and dependencies. So we're going to head into the install ISOs, and I've obtained these legitimately. However, if you do some Googling, you can find these ISO files on your own. I'm not allowed to link to them because it is considered piracy, but I do have a legitimate copy of Sonic Heroes, and I have obtained these legitimately. So what you need to do is you need to right click and then mount. And this will mount this to your C drive here, and all you need to do is run the setup.exe. Now if you hit agree and then next, go with the full install, and I'm going to save it to my D drive. So as you can see, I'm going to install it in D and then Sega. So I'm going to start the install, and it will go really quickly because you're not limited to disk read speeds. So it will go as fast as your hard drive goes. I'm installing this on just a bog standard hard drive, so it's going to be slightly slower than your typical SSD, but it shouldn't take too long. Now I'm going to put this installer up here. To save a bit of time, what we're going to do is we're going to head back into our ISOs and mount disk 2. This is completely fine. It will mount as a separate letter on your devices and drives. So this is drive F and disk 2 is drive G. You got to remember that disk 2 is drive G, and or it could be different for whatever how many you have. It will say please insert disk 2 into the CD drive and press OK. Click browse and then select the G drive. Hit OK, and then the install should continue on and complete itself just like that. And there we go. We now have finished the install. It will freeze for a bit and it will open up the launcher, I do believe. Yep. So here is the Sonic Heroes launcher. If we go into the options, we see it is very bare bones. We haven't applied any patches, and overall it's a little bit laggy for some reason. We're going to run this in a window, and we're going to bump the resolution to 128 by 960. We're going to get that smooth 60 FPS, file clipping, and then hit OK, then play game. Now you want to do this just to create the initial files for the game, because those are what are going to be patched over. So you do need to run the game at least once. It should boot up in just a second in a window, hopefully. And there we go, here is the window for Sonic Heroes. It's very loud, but all you need to do is just create a save data file and then just exit out of the game. Okay, now the first main patch you want to apply is Reloaded 2. Now Reloaded 2 is sort of a mod manager for old classic Sega games. So you want to download the latest .NET. You want to grab the 64-bit as well as the 32-bit, just in case. Okay, now once you've done that, you can see that I added both because I'm not quite sure which one the program uses, but we're just going to install both really quickly, and they should install side by side together. Hopefully they don't clash. Installation was successful and successful. Now when we open up Reloaded 2, we should be able to see what we're doing. So here's Reloaded. What we want to do. Also prerequisite, you will need the Visual C++ redistributables 2015, 2017, and 2019. You can get them from this link here. And you want to download the x86 and the 64-bit as well. I already have these, so I don't need them. When in Reloaded, you want to add an application and you want to navigate to where you installed Sonic Heroes. So I installed it here, and you want to select the tsonicwin.exe. That will add it to the loader. Then what you want to do is you want to go to that application, then click Edit, Advanced Tools and Options, and Deploy ASL Loader. Hit OK, and then we should be good to go. Now, to inject the mods automatically whenever we start the game from the launcher, we just hit this auto inject button here. Next, you want to go over to the download mods page. You want to scroll down until you find the sonicheroes.essentials.graphics. Download that, and it should download the dependencies for it. You also want to download Toner, the one expand dongle reloaded. And finally, the CRI file system hook. Once you've done that, you want to put Toner right at the very top, SH Essentials Graphics at the bottom, and CRI file system hook in the middle. Once you've done that, hit Launch Application, and you should be good to go. And you want to check all these to enable the mods. You then want to go into Manage Mods, and then tick Sonic Heroes if it is not already ticked here. Once you've enabled all the mods, hit Launch Application. As you can see, we're presented with a widescreen version of Sonic Heroes. You can then go into the Sonic Heroes Essentials graphics, and you can tweak this to however you want. So, for example, you can run this at 1600 by 900, hit Save, Launch Application, and as you can see, I've turned off the borderless window, and I'm running the game at a higher resolution. Now, believe it or not, we're already done with Reloaded. We can go back to it later on for a few additional mods, but we'll be covering them in a later part of the video. Next up is the widescreen fixes. In your patches, you want to download the Sonic Heroes widescreen fix, and you want to grab the developer edition, which it says it's untested, but it will work just fine. You want to copy these two files, navigate to your D drive or wherever you installed Sonic Heroes, and paste these files in. Once you've copied those files over, head into your scripts folder and delete the Sonic Heroes widescreenfix.asi file. This will allow you to launch the game again using the Reloaded 2 launcher.
Let's blast through with Sonic speed!
Okay!
Alright!
With this, you now should have true widescreen support. Next up, you want to replace some missing audio clips which aren't in the PC version. In your patches folder, grab the shvoicen.afs, cut that, and then paste that in DVD root, then BGM, and then paste it in here. Delete this shvoice, and then rename this to shvoice. Next up, you want to replace the cutscenes in the game with higher quality Xbox ones. For some reason, the Xbox version of the game has higher quality cutscenes, so you just want to replace them here. And there you go, they've all been replaced. The path you need is Sonic Heroes, DVD root, then movie, which is right here. So DVD root, movie, and then this is where you paste in your cutscenes. Next up, we're going to fix a texture glitch with SBO when he uses his shriekens. We want to copy this little texture file here, and you want to drop that into, you guessed it, textures. The last patch we want to apply is the transparency fixes. In this folder, we have this Sonic Heroes folder, and then we have this DVD root folder. You want to copy everything in this folder, and then drag it over to the DVD root folder in your directory. You'll replace everything in this folder. You want to go back twice to screen shaders. And you want to copy these 2 folders and put them in the root of your installation. Just like so. The last little patch we're going to do is to restore the signal monitor flickering found in the console versions of the game. Now this is going to require some hex editing, so make sure you have the hex editor, which is linked in the description, called Hexed. The reason why I saved this patch for last is because we will need to do some hex edits after we copy this file over. So you want to go into DVD root and replace this com.obj.1. So after you pasted that com.obj.1 file, you want to open up Hexed, which is our hex editor of choice. You want to go File, Open, then open tsonicwin.exe. There's a lot of these hex edits that we're going to do. You can skip over them, but these are just highly recommended, so I recommend just sticking with it. I will guide you through everything. So the thing about the hex editor is that it's a very dangerous tool. You're literally editing the sort of underlying code of the game. We want to be very careful with what we're going to be, how we're manipulating this data. And there are 2 ways to manipulate data from the clipboard. That's paste insert and paste right. We always want to use paste right, which is Control B. To find where we need to paste these, we can go to this go to, which is Control G. So we're going to go to offset 086 C30. I'm going to get this absolutely huge block, and we're going to paste right it in. Next, we're going to do some manual typing. So 064 E8F. You replace this with E8 8B, sorry, AB 1E 0200. You want to go to 073 48E, and you replace this with E8 AC 380100. Again, you want to go to another offset, and you want to go to 079 3D9. And you'll replace this with E8 61 D9 0000. And finally, 352 COC. And you'll replace this with 84 60 48 and 00. Next up, we're going to edit issues in Frog Forest. So we want to go to 233A84. And we're going to replace this with 8379 4004 7522 EBOA. We're going to go to 233A94 and replace this 74 with 7D. Next, go to 387 C34 and replace this with 84 3A63. Now, if you do make a mistake, just hit Windows key and G, go back, and make sure that your insert mode is set to overwrite. So if I do A, it will overwrite what I've just did. Sometimes undoing doesn't work very well. Then you want to go to F5, F81, and then this is a long one. E8, 5A, CA, 1300, E8, 6A, 0100, 00, E9, F1, F1, 00000, F60, 7C, and here you want to change this to E9, 00, FFFFFF. And then finally, F60, F5. You want to change this to 8B, 46, 1831, C9, B1, 04, 8948, 40C3. And there's one more, actually there's 3 more fixes for Frog Forest. We're going to go to 0DDC4B. We're going to change this from 60 to 78. And we're going to go to EE3ED. Change this to C7, 05, E4, AB, 7B, 00, 70, 2E, 4000. We'll go to 468, A20. Change 04 to 12 and 468A44 and change that to 12 as well. Both should be 4, change them both to 12. And that is all the Frog Forest fixes. Next up, we're going to fix Shadow's tornado effect being single-sided instead of double-sided. So this is a very simple fix. We're going to go to II Prereqs FEC7. And you're going to replace this with 14, 14, E8, E3, and CA. This next fix affects multiplayer. If you go into the game and you hit play all, it will always stop at the second stage. This is quite a long fix, so if you don't want to do this, that's fine. Otherwise, just stick with me. I'll guide you through it all. So the first two steps, you want to go to 2 offsets. That's 01A 9534. Change 02 to 03, and then go to 01A 9586, and then change that to 03 as well. This one we'll be doing some copy and pasting, so be sure to use paste right. So 023 FC0, and you want to copy from the notepad and then paste right. Go to 074 AAD, and again paste right. 013 F2 F8, and then again paste right. 01A 9842. Sorry, I've missed one. 01A975F. Replace it with this. Then we can go to 01A9842, like I originally intended, and paste these numbers here. Oh. And then finally 01B2956, and again paste right. Next up, we're going to fix the lasers in Final Fortress. This one is pretty simple. So 31A 800, change 40 to 50. 31A 950, change 40 to 50. 31 change from 40 to 50. And finally 31 AB79, you guessed it, change 40 to 50. Next up, we're going to fix issues in Grand Metropolis. This is a very, very lengthy one, so beware. We're going to go to offset 04DB12C. And we're going to type this in manually. B0 3B5700 AD 3C 5700 62 3B 5700. And then we're going to go to offset, where is it? 017 3B62, and paste right this entire chunk, as well as going to 0173 A60 and paste writing this slightly smaller chunk. And finally, to fix Grand Metropolis, 0174 130, change 64 to A4, and that is Grand Metropolis all fixed. There's just a couple more hex edits we need to do and we'll be all done. Second to last fix, it fixes grinding on rails. So we're going to go to F9 A4D, you'll change OA to O2, F9A 6C, change O2 to O3, F9A 6E, change OA to O2, and F9 AA4, change OA to O2. And the last hex edit that we need to do, actually the last 2 hex edits we need to do, is at 123 C10, and we want to paste right this entire chunk. There we go. And our last bit of typing, 123 F41. We're going to go to 8B 4018 6A 0850 E8 04 AD 140083. Oh, put an 84 there. 83 C4 08 C3. If you've done everything correctly, when you save, you should be able to launch the game, and all of those fixes will be applied. If the game doesn't launch, that's fine. People do make mistakes. The program automatically creates a backup of the original executable, so you can restore from that. But as you can see, we have applied all the fixes. As you can see, the game plays normally with all our hex edits applied. A quick little fix for the game if it's not running on your system, if it's not opening, you want to go to Start, Control Panel, you'll go System and Security, For your amount of RAM and processor speed, this will open up in the modern UI Windows 10 settings. You want to go into Advanced System Settings, and then under this Advanced tab, you want to go to Performance, Data Execution Prevention, turn on DEP for all programs and services except those I select, and then add T-Sonic Win as an exception. So it will be under Internal, Sega, Sonic Heroes, T-Sonic Win. You will have to restart the computer for this to work. If the game is running poorly on people who have NVIDIA GPUs, you want to open up the NVIDIA control panel. And once it's open, under the 3D settings, under just image settings or preview, you want to make sure they use the advanced 3D image settings page is selected. Take yourself there, then go to program settings, add a program. It might not be on this list, so you will need to browse for it. T-Sonic Win. And under this global settings, make sure GPU scaling is ticked. I'm not going to do that because the game runs completely fine on my graphics card. Okay, now if you really want to push the boat out, there are a few more mods which you can install. The Sonic Heroes Essentials Widescreen Revamp, Extended Draw Distance, Amy Hammer Fix, Metal Sonic Fix, the Dialogue Volume Fix, as well as some optional stuff such as the Definitive Character Visual Overhaul, Sonic Heroes AI Enhanced Textures, and the E3 title screen. You can mix and match these mods, and you can do whatever you want. Also note, if you are going to be doing 2-player, in your Sonic Heroes Graphics Essentials config, disable the 2-player frame skip. This should be enabled by default, but just make sure that it's checked. If you've done everything correctly, then you should have a fully working, fully widescreen, more importantly, and a very high resolution Sonic Heroes with all the fixes applied, and makes it an infinitely better game. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy playing what is considered one of the last good Sonic games. Wouldn't be a Sonic video if I didn't piss off the entire community.